If you are trying to learn how to use ChatGPT, we've got some ideas for you on how it can help you be more productive. The emphasis here is on help you. Despite what you may have heard or read, don't think it is going to completely eliminate your job or those tasks that you absolutely despise. But it definitely can help you become more productive. Make sure you stick around until the end when I share a startling example, which sounded really right at first glance, but then was 100% wrong. If you're looking to have a good laugh at my expense, well, then you're going to love this story. Hey guys, I'm Mary Schaefer, founder of AP Now, your one stop shop for cutting edge business intelligence if you work in, manage, or have responsibility for the accounts payable and payment function. The stuff we're going to talk about today is actually applicable to almost anyone, so stick around regardless of your area of expertise. Each of these efficiency hacks will come with a caveat, and I'll try and show you where you might run into trouble if you blindly accept what ChatGPT provides. Alrighty, efficiency hack number one: improve your writing. Now, this might be pretty obvious, but bear with me. You want to use it to review and what I call spiff up your emails, but you need to be careful. Make sure that the new and improved output matches what you were trying to say in your original message. Better to send a clunkily written email, but an accurate one, than one that sounds beautiful but doesn't convey the exact message you wanted to share, or worse, has something that was inaccurate in it. You'll often hear this referred to as nuance, and it comes to bear a lot when it comes to Chat GPT. Let me give you an example, a personal example. I do not do a great job when it comes to coming up for the titles for talks I give. Just about everyone I know complains that they are too long. As some of you who are listening might know, we're planning on doing one this month for AP Best Practice Month called AP. No, it's called A Dozen Relatively New AP Routines Every Organization Must Use to Be Considered Best Practice. Yep, that's the title. I can hear all the copywriters groaning, but you know what? It says exactly what the talk is going to be about. And I am fanatical about not giving something a title that doesn't deliver on the content. So I asked ChatGPT for some help, and it gave me 5 titles that maybe I might want to use. And they were Transforming Your Organization, 12 Accounts Payable Routines to Adopt for Success, Maximizing Efficiency, the top AP routines your organization needs, Revolutionizing Your Workflow, the 12 must-have AP routines, Staying Ahead of the Curve, Innovative AP Routines for Organizational Excellence, and Mastering Accounts Payable, 12 Best Practices to Streamline Your Business. Now, at first glance, when I looked at them, I thought, these are great, and they are. There's only one little problem. They're not the talk I am planning on giving. If I had titled the talk with any of these, attendees who go to it and paid for it might feel cheated. So I thought, well, I need to be a little bit more precise with ChatGPT, and I asked it to give me 5 more titles emphasizing new best practices. Here's what I got: Breaking New Ground, 12 Revolutionary AP Routines for Modern Business, Innovative Approaches to Accounts Payable, 12 Best Practices for the Future, The Future of Accounts Payable, 12 Cutting Edge Routines to Stay Ahead of the Curve, Next Generation AP, 12 New Best Practices to Improve Efficiency and Accuracy, and the latest and greatest in AP, 12 Emerging Routines for Organizational Success. Now, again, I had the same problem. These were great titles, or at least I think they were, but they just didn't match the talk I was planning on giving. So we stuck with my old clunky title, and I'm hoping no one will be disappointed. The key takeaway here is that you need to review whatever ChatGPT gives you and make sure it says what you want it to say, okay? Because many times nuance will come into play and it won't. All right, enough about my writing headaches. Efficiency hack number 2: translations. You can use ChatGPT to translate your writing into another language if you need it. Now, as many of you probably know, many of the translation apps have gotten a really bad rap for bad translations or bizarre translations. Um, so how can you have any confidence in what ChatGPT will give you? If you don't speak the other language, how do you know if the translation is correct? Well, near as I can tell, there's no 100% way to do that unless you have someone who speaks both languages and you get them to check it. But that defeats the purpose. So here's what I did, and I'm curious to see what you think of it. I put a paragraph into ChatGPT and had it translated into German, a language I do not know one word in. Well, maybe I know one. I know Dankeschön. All right. Then I took the output and turned to Google, looked for a translation app, and when I found it, I pasted what the ChatGPT had given me into the other app and asked it to translate it back from German to English. It came back perfect, 100% perfect. Now, is this 100% proof that ChatGPT works for all translations? No, but it is the best I could come up with. And as I said earlier, I welcome other suggestions in the comment field below. Now, one reason that I believe this works so well is that I avoided using idioms or slangs. I avoided saying things like, that idea hits it out of the ballpark. While most in North America might know what I meant by that metaphor, folks in other countries might be left scratching their heads. Okay, but it can help you if your back is to the wall with translations. All righty. Efficiency hack number 3. This is one I think all the finance and accounting folks are going to love. It can write macros for Excel. Yes, ChatGPT can write macros, but you really, really need to check them. Now, if at first you're thinking, well, if I have to go through all the manual calculations by hand to make sure it's correct, why bother? But let me ask you this. Don't you do that now whenever you write a new macro? Keep in mind that in order to get ChatGPT to write the macro, you need to be very, very precise in your instructions. And you should be. Now, hint, be aware that the odds are very high, almost 100%, that you will have to adjust the macro slightly to ensure that the ranges selected for particular calculations and functions are correct. So automatically check your ranges. Now, before I get to the ChatGPT story, which at least to me demonstrates some of the current limitations with this amazing new technology, let me share with you that we'd like to remind you that we tackle big accounts payable and payment issues on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and occasionally on Saturdays where we have a little Wordle fun. So check out this channel's full range of over 300 videos to help you expand your accounts payable and payment acumen. Okay, now for the rather startling story. I decided to test ChatGPT to see if it knew about my books. At first, I got the outcome I had hoped for. I asked ChatGPT, what are the best books for accounts payable? It quickly spat out a reply that started with, here are some highly rated books about accounts payable. And the first 3 were by yours truly. My moment of bliss was quickly shattered when I realized that only one of the 3 books that was attributed to me I had actually written. So who wrote these other books? Had someone published a book using my name in the hopes of making a few bucks? I certainly wasn't getting paid for these books. So I wanted to see where this information came from. So I did a Google search on the exact names. And I came back with absolutely nothing for either of the phony articles, the phony titles, not even an article on some website. The same for the other 2 books on the list. I have no idea where ChatGPT got this list. So the takeaway from this little story is verify everything. Use it as an assistant, but do not try and pass yourself off as knowing about something that you do not, because you could end up looking like a fool. And when you get called out on it, you really can't say, oh, I was trying to pass off ChatGPT work as my own. Bottom line, ChatGPT is a useful tool and assistant. That's all. You can use it that way. Are you interested in learning more about ChatGPT right now? You can watch our playlist of really short broadcasts answering basic ChatGPT questions just like this one. A link will appear momentarily on YouTube and is in the show notes below. As always, I appreciate your support you show us by giving us a thumbs up, share, subscribing, and comments. Good luck.